planet Vegeta is about to be destroyed, the being looking to destroy it, Freeza, the Emperor of the Universe. With Beerus' permission, Freeza will finally be rid of the thing that he fears most, a Saiyan uprising led by the legendary Super Saiyan. Of course, Bardock's suspicions would catch on to Frieza's plans and leads to him sending his youngest son off the planet to a world known as Earth. This is, of course, the story of Son Goku's origins that we are very aware of. The Saiyan-born Kakarot will be found by Grandpa Gohan and is renamed Goku as such. But this is where things change. Up in the heavenly realm, Kami is keeping an eye on the child who has disrupted the planet's balance by crashing onto it. While in the original, Kami seemed to not care about an alien landing on Earth as far as we know, as he himself wasn't even aware he was an alien yet, in this version, the event disturbs him enough that he uses his godly vision to make sure that the planet isn't in harm's way. Of course, one night would come where Kami would see the child transform under the light of the full moon, almost killing his adoptive parent and much of the surrounding area in the process. He couldn't let this stand any longer. Kami makes his way to Earth where he can head towards Mount Paozu and retrieve Goku. Once he arrives, Grandpa Gohan is on guard since he has never met Kami before, but Kami quickly explains who he is and why he has come. Kami tells Gohan that the child he has adopted is a threat to Earth and must be dealt with immediately. Gohan refuses to let Goku be killed and says that God or not, he'd have to fight to get his hands on Goku. Grandpa Gohan takes a fighting stance and Kami does as well, but he pulls back before the battle begins. Kami had come down to Earth to save life, not destroy it. He asks Gohan if he can think of an alternative to killing the boy, and Gohan mentions that Goku's tail is his weak spot. Kami looks at the tail and can sense the collection of power within it, so he decides to take a gamble and removes the tail permanently. With the tail gone, Goku shouldn't be a threat any longer. However, Kami informs Grandpa Gohan that an alien child cannot remain on Earth unguarded. Should he transform again, it could mean death for not only Grandpa Gohan, but many innocents as well. Gohan asks what Kami plans to do, and the god tells him that Goku will be taken to the heavenly realm. Kami asks for the Nyoibo that he knows that Grandpa Gohan possesses, and tells him that the lookout is directly above Karin's tower, connected by this staff. Should he ever wish to visit, he may do so from there. With that said, Kami leaves Mount Paozu with Goku in his arms. He connects Karin's tower to the heavenly realm, thus giving those worthy a means of passage to the realm of Earth's god. From here, Kami begins to raise Goku and train him. He quickly finds that the boy has dormant potential that can be unlocked and controlled should he train hard, and Goku does train hard. He's not being forced to train, he's enjoying it. The road ahead of him was exciting. Gaining power and fighting hard was something he clearly loves to do. It was clear that Goku still missed his grandpa, so Kami made sure to keep an eye on the adoptive parent. One day seeing the old man had found a Dragon Ball. Kami smiles as he thought the Dragon Balls never served purpose beyond their legend, but perhaps they could do something more. As time goes on, Gohan eventually meets Bulma and agrees to help her on her journey to collect the Dragon Balls. This turns into a story of its own, but that tale is best saved for another What If, as we don't want to detract from the center of our story, Son Goku, and the training he undergoes. Just know things are just easier than the original story, and with Grandpa Gohan's Kamehameha, the escape from Pilaf's castle doesn't require an Ozaru to do so, so Pilaf's plans are foiled as they were originally. Things do change in this story when it comes to the Tenkaichi Budokai and Krillin's training with Master Roshi, but such details are really minor as we make it to our main focus, the Red Ribbon Army. Before we get into that though, remember to subscribe if you haven't yet. Only 20% of the people who watch this channel are subbed, so make sure you don't forget to do so. You could always unsub in the future if you change your mind. Grandpa Gohan doesn't share Goku's attachment for the 4-star ball, so when they scatter, he takes that as a sign that his adventure is done, and he actually goes to Kame House to train with his old master once again. However, this leaves no one to stop the exploits of the Red Ribbon Army, an organization that seeks to use the Dragon Balls for some malicious intent. Kami can't stand by, but doesn't want to get involved with mortal affairs, and that's when he remembers Goku. In his eyes, Goku was pure enough of heart to be a worthy successor someday, and today might be a good time to test his might, so Kami has Goku go into the world and face the Red Ribbon Army so that he can reclaim the Dragon Balls before they are used maliciously. Goku is told not to go directly to Earth though, as the drop would be far too great. Instead, Kami tells Goku to stop at Master Karin's place to receive a flying Nimbus, also known as the Kinto-un. Goku nods excitedly and makes his way down the Nyoibo till he reaches the residence of Master Karin. There, he receives a Kinto-un and he flies off to the location of the Red Ribbon Army base as Kami instructed. It should be clear, but to go over it simply, Goku through his training with Kami is more than a match for the military might of the Red Ribbon Army. Once the army is completely defeated and the Dragon Balls are retrieved, Goku is told by Kami that their true purpose is to show that the journey to collect them is the value, not the wish itself. However, certain cases require wishes in order to rectify situations, so they summon Shenron and undo the damage caused by the Red Ribbon Army in their pursuit of the Dragon Balls. With his godly vision, Kami can see down on Earth that a child whose father was killed was revived. He smiles, happy the situation is resolved, and that Goku is becoming a fine candidate to one day replace him. So, the Dragon Balls scatter once again. However, the dust wouldn't settle for long before a few years pass and a new threat arises. Pilaf has released the Great Demon King Piccolo as he did originally. However, unlike the original, there's no Dragon Ball at the Tenkaichi Budokai, and Goku isn't there either. Kami immediately notices when Piccolo is released, but unlike the original, rather than not intervening because he can't, he has Goku who can stop the Demon King for him. Without revealing that he'll die as well if Piccolo does, Kami tells Goku to go after him and take care of the monster once and for all. He warns Goku that this will be his first true test, and Goku heads off the lookout excitedly. Kami then tells Mr. Popo that should Goku succeed, he is to become the next god of Earth. Popo is saddened by the seemingly inevitable passing of Kami, but he agrees to this final request. Down on the world below, Goku confronts Piccolo, who did not get the chance to regain his youth since he has yet to obtain all of the Dragon Balls. With an older Piccolo and a Goku who's been trained by Kami, there's just no contest, and King Piccolo is killed. However, he still creates an egg that he launches away before he dies, just as he did originally. This allows Kami to live, but when Goku returns to the lookout, he's informed of Piccolo's offspring. This leads to Kami telling Goku that the young reincarnated Demon King is stronger than the original, won't be able to attack Goku on the lookout, and will remain in hiding until the next Tenkaichi Budokai in 3 years. So, Goku trains until the tournament begins. When he arrives, there are no friends to meet up with, just a mission he must accomplish. However, Piccolo wasn't the only person in the tournament. While Chi-Chi didn't come due to her never meeting Goku, characters like Roshi, Yamcha, Krillin, and Ten Shinhan do come to participate. The students of the Turtle School are here to win, without knowing that Piccolo's reincarnation is here as well. So, the final bracket for the tournament is Goku, Roshi as Jackie Chun, Krillin, Yamcha, Ten Shinhan, Piccolo, Kami in disguise, and a masked fighter. The first round of the quarterfinals is Goku versus the masked fighter. Eventually, the fight gets so intense that the mask is broken, and it's revealed that Goku is fighting his adoptive grandfather, Gohan. The reunion is heartwarming. Goku recognizes the man who raised him for a few years, and Grandpa Gohan recognizes that unmistakable haircut immediately. The battle between the two ends with Goku winning, but the battle was fairly close as Grandpa Gohan had been helping to train the students of the Turtle School after his journey to collect the Dragon Balls. From here, things play out fairly similarly. Ten Shinhan battles Jackie Chun once again instead of Tao Pai Pai, who died in Goku's destruction of the Red Ribbon Army base. Ten Shinhan wins, which means he'll move on to face Goku. Krillin faces Piccolo, and Kami faces Yamcha, these fights go the same way they did originally. So Kami versus Piccolo once again will happen. Everything goes the same until the battle between Goku and Piccolo finally happens, as the biggest change here is with Goku himself. Notably, Goku still wins this fight with Piccolo, but it's more one-sided as Goku has become far stronger. Still, Piccolo is left alive to keep Kami alive as well. So overall, this ending is pretty much untouched in all honesty, with one notable exception. When Goku is offered the position of God, he still denies it, but not outright. At the very least, he doesn't want the job now, as he still feels he has more to learn about the world. So instead of returning to the lookout with Kami, Goku goes to Kame House with Master Roshi and Grandpa Gohan in order to train alongside them and learn the Turtle School's style of martial arts. Of course, training without a family to worry about allows Goku to grow incredibly fast, and he's not stuck doing repetitive training anymore. He's learning an entirely new style that is still extremely different from the martial arts he had learned under Kami's tutelage. This leads to Goku forming a friendship with Krillin, Yamcha, and Tenshinhan, all of whom are continuing to train at Kame House in an attempt to learn from Goku as well. Because of all this group training, the Z Fighters are far stronger and are now more prepared for the threat of Raditz. While they are much stronger, Piccolo is still the first person met by Raditz, since he has been training hard to keep up with Goku, who is still the strongest person on Earth. Despite his own higher power, Piccolo is unable to keep up with Raditz while he has weighted clothing on. Raditz eventually arrives at Kame House, revealing who he is, who Goku is, and why he's here. This leads to Goku rejecting all that Raditz says and removing his weighted clothing to confront him. Goku's power level from purely training is tremendous compared to the original story, 1200, meaning his Kamehameha is more than enough to beat Raditz if it can land. However, in terms of hand-to-hand combat, Raditz can pummel Goku, and he outspeeds him. This is where his new friends come in, the students of Kame House. Each has managed to garner a power level of 1000, and with their help, Raditz's scouter is eventually knocked off his face. Without this device, Raditz is unable to keep track of anyone out of his sight. So while Tenshinhan, Krillin, and Yamcha keep him distracted from the front, Goku launches a Kamehameha from above and destroys the Saiyan once and for all. Raditz warns that this will lead to his Saiyan comrades, who are far stronger than himself, coming to enact their revenge. But he wasn't entirely right. Without the lore of the Dragon Balls, coming to Earth and fighting Goku isn't a priority to Vegeta, though he is interested if Goku is truly as strong as the scouter claimed, so they will make their way to Earth eventually. This means that Nappa and Vegeta will arrive on Earth in 2 years, not 1, pushing the timeline back by 1 full year. However, Raditz thinks it will only take 1 year for his allies to arrive, so that's what he tells the Z Fighters in his final breath. So, it's time to train. But what will an extra year mean for our heroes? If Goku's alive, how will his training differ? Find out in the next part of What If Goku Was Raised by Kami. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so very much for watching.